No, but the reason why I wanted to interview you is because the first day we met, we were working at Mercedes at the time, and
Yeah.
somebody told me, this guy over there, he speaks 12 languages. And then I came up to you and I asked you about that, and you said, no, I don't speak any language. I speak even my native language. I speak with a foreign accent.
Yeah. That's true too. That's true.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I speak every language with a little bit of a foreign accent, even my native language, because you pick up so many languages, but you are away from home for a long time, so you lose maybe 1 or 2% of your native tongue. Yeah.
And getting older, sometimes you just mix things up. You want to say this and it comes in another language.
Yeah. That's funny. That's funny. So, which other languages you speak? What are the 12? Thing.
Pretty much you can communicate in there because you have certain languages where you can really they follow up languages. You understand? So
Yeah.
now you speak German very well, and you listen carefully to the Hollanders.
Yes.
When
Dutch.
there are many things you will not get 100%, but if you listen closely, they will not be able to speak certain, say like they cannot hold a conversation from beginning to end, and you cannot follow at least 30% of that.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yes.
So if you make the effort, then pretty much you will not be fluent, but at least you will be able to say what you want to say.
Yes.
Mix it up with other languages, so at the end you will communicate.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's pretty much like
Okay.
when I started German, it's pretty much like half, not even half, 20% of the German, the 80% was English. You understand?
Yeah.
You moving the English aside, putting German till now is pretty much opposite. You speak like 80% German, 20% English.
Right.
It's pretty much like that. I mean, in terms of learning languages, people, you can find a way of making certain words stick from either associating it with other things or whatever, but you find a way of making, this father, English says father, and somehow you find a way of understanding what.
Yeah, because a lot of the languages have the same roots, right? So that's why the words are almost the same. Father in English and Vater in German. It's very close. Yeah.
Pretty much. You speak French now, or one of those Latin languages.
Right.
Yeah. You speak French, Italian, Spanish. You understand?
Portuguese,
and you
Romanian.
Effort.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you make the effort to try to communicate, because sometimes those people don't even want to make that effort. Immediately you speak French, the Spanish would say, I don't understand. Instead of trying to see if they would understand.
Yeah.
That when the curiosity is not there, then you will not learn the language. But if the curiosity is there, then somehow you'll be able to move the next step. I mean, it's pretty much like that. So these are like the European language. The European languages, these are pretty much the way you learn it. The African languages is like you have connection with people every day. Your neighbor is this, then, and they're always speaking their languages, and you have to interact with them. So somehow, because they're always talking, it sticks.
Right. Yes.
You understand?
It sticks.
Sometimes,
exactly. You get exposed to it all the time, so just repetition just makes it stick, right? Yeah.
And maybe the parent cannot speak the other language, so pretty much they're talking to you in their language. So you end up, the easiest thing is to understand what they're saying, and then you move forward.
Right.
So pretty much, like where I grew up, every house facing our house was a different language.
Okay. Wow.
Totally different language.
Wow.
You understand? Okay, all of us have one that the kids, we have the common language, we talk and play and everything. But in houses, people speak different things to each other. So if you to those people interact with them, and I have the curiosity of really loving languages.
That's the point. Yes. Immersion, you just surround yourself with the language all the time, and you just treat it with curiosity, right? With a positive attitude of wanting to know more.
I'm curious, like these days, the thing that's really frustrating me, I want to learn Russian so bad. I started it like when I was 16.
Yeah.
So I know basic things, but I want to move forward, and I cannot learn Russian reading it.
Right.
I need to have somebody who speaks Russian, so I could be asking questions every day, and then so we can get into communicate. The fun about learning those languages is like this day-to-day interaction, because like I want to say something, I don't know how to say it. Somebody is close to me and I say, what's the name of this towel? You say, pardon, yes, okay. it sticks there. The next time you say it wrong, and after 3 times, it's stopped.
Oh.
So the next thing is like that. So you move forward,
Right.
and
Exactly.
all you know,
Step by step.
Mhm.
Yeah, you take one step after another, and eventually you arrive.
I love languages. I love languages. The most frustrating thing is when I get somewhere where I cannot communicate.
Yeah.
That's frustrating to me. Despite all these many languages in your head, you're standing there and you definitely can communicate. It happens.
It happens.
Yes?
It still happens, for sure. If I go to Vietnam, I'm in that situation. I don't speak any Vietnamese.
You speak so many languages, but there you are. In that particular moment, you can't communicate with anybody.
Yeah. It's frustrating. Yeah. It's frustrating. So what's your native tongue? What's the first language you grew up speaking?
There is this,
Wolof.
No.
No?
This is, I did not grow up in Senegal. I grew up in Sierra Leone.
Oh, okay.
In Sierra Leone,
I didn't know that.
They speak, it's like Pidgin English, but they call it Creole. You know, Creole has
I know Creole, yes.
English Creole, the French Creole.
Yes.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
There's it's like patois in Jamaica, or Pidgin English or whatever.
Right.
That's the one we speak there. You understand? So from the get-go, you have this, which is not 100% English. So you started with English with some other mixed up of other African languages mixed into it.
Right.
Then my parents are speaking Wolof. You understand?
Yeah.
So you're bombarded with languages. You have your neighbors speaking languages. So it's like you don't even learn them. It's just you pick them up.
Yes.
You pick them up from there. And
because the human brain is wired to learn languages, right? Like it's not really something that that is unnatural to us. It's something we're born with the ability to learn.
I believe that too. I believe that because that's why with my children I started early, because people said if you start with multiple languages as a kid, you learn the successive languages easier.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know.
But like for you, then you went to Senegal with your family and you learned French next for the country, right?
In the school, when I'm after the 7th grade, in the 8th grade you have to do a language, and with that it was vital that I speak French. It was a must, because I'm a Senegalese. I have to be in Senegal, and somehow I should be able to communicate, which I hated. You understand?
Right.
But I had the advantage, like Wolof is like, if you speak Wolof, you have at least 30% French in it.
Right.
Yeah, so it was easier learning French.
Got it. Yeah. It's like if a Brazilian wanted to learn Spanish, that's going to be easier than, let's say, Japanese, right? Because there's a lot of commonalities between the languages. Yeah.
Pretty much from there, then it was then French, and then going to Senegal is another dynamic where you're surrounded with people speaking other languages.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
It's no longer it's another. You have tribes all over the place, and then it was okay. It was okay. I mean, it's not like you made a conscious effort like I did to learn German.
Right. But you also made a conscious effort to learn Arab, right? Arabic.
Yeah.
Because you wanted. Yeah, because you want to read the Quran. Was that why you learned it?
Good thing now. I can read the Quran now, pretty much good. It's just I'm a slow reader, even in English.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I've never made a test, but I cannot read well.
I'm the same way. I'm not a fast reader. I'm like the auditory learning type. So whenever I can, I try to listen to material instead of reading it. I bought some software that will read books to me, so I can listen to books.
That's cool, because I don't like reading. Reading is really difficult.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Sometimes I'm thinking like, maybe I need to do this test, but the other point is why you want to do the test and find out this and that. I hate reading. I don't like to read.
Yeah.
So in the other thing that I'm stuck with in Arabic, okay, I know if necessary I can communicate in Arabic pretty much, stuttering, but I'll communicate.
Oh.
The thing is, they're not tolerant to mispronunciation or whatever.
Really?
for the religious sake, I want to just know it. I don't know. In any other language you're trying to learn, people are really like tolerant. They help you. If there's anything, they will try to make the effort to understand.
Well, tell me something, dude. What are the 12 languages you can communicate? So it's what? Creole, Wolof, English, French, German, Arab. What are the other 6? There's 6 more than, yeah?
I mean, I can pretty much like hold my own in Italian, and when you get Italian, and it's just those Latin things that you don't really, if I can communicate when I have to. But you have those African tribes like those, the Soninke is like those are the Soninke, the Madinka. These are not, it's like, if the Madingo is another one, if you speak the Madingo, it's like you can understand Bambara, you can understand, so it's like you can push up, okay? They're pretty much based, it's like the German,
right?
The Flemish,
right?
They're pretty much this in that line. If you speak one and you're really curious, you can follow the other one up.
Right, makes sense. Got it. Okay.
Now you have the Fulanis. If you can speak one of theirs, then you can go to Senegal and speak Tukulor and stuff like that. So you can follow up on that. It's like I can speak German. Then if other people talk in Hollandese and Flemish, if I listen carefully, I'll be able to follow up. It's pretty much like
makes sense.
You speak far more than I do. You should be interviewing yourself.
Well, my students already know everything that I have to teach, so now I'm interviewing other people. I was interviewing a guy from Turkey. I was in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia in a hostel, and next to me there was this guy from Turkey and this girl from Iran. And suddenly they're talking in Farsi to each other. And I'm like, what? You speak Farsi? You're from Turkey. Why do you speak Farsi? And he spoke 12 languages. He spoke like language of Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, and like probably they're similar, right? But he spoke like 6 of those. And then of course English and Turkish and I think
Kurdish.
Yeah, Kurdish. He spoke Kurdish. I think he spoke Russian as well. Like a lot of different languages, yeah. And he was picking up Spanish and Portuguese also, yeah. So it was interesting, yeah. And then I interviewed a friend of mine. He's American and he went to Asia and he speaks now, he's conversational in Japanese and Chinese and Thai, which are 3 very difficult languages, right? So I interviewed him.
Like the last time I was working at the hospital, there was a Chinese guy there, and I started asking him some words, but he went out to, maybe I got like 5 words from him, but he was he was discharged.
Where was he from? Japanese?
Now he's Chinese.
Chinese, yeah?
He was Chinese. And they have, there's another difficult language where the intonation
changes the meaning. Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
yes, that's true.
I told you I learned German from the Bildzeitung.
That's amazing. That newspaper.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because the Bildzeitung, they have these short phrases. The sentences are pretty short.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's not so mixed up where the beginning and the end, you have to reach till the end before you understand what.
Right, yes. Yeah, German language is structured like that. So yellow press because it's easy, it's easy.
Yeah,
easy.
Pretty much like, and you know it's a sentence. You understand? It's not complex. And the words, they look so similar to English. And the ones you need just a small dictionary and then you get pretty much what they're talking about.
Right.
And my wife is pissed that I would go about buying the Bildzeitung. Was machst du mit Bildzeitung? Yes, it was costing like 50 cents, 50 pfennig that time. Yeah?
Right.
But it was okay. Every day I would buy it, read through it. There are words you don't understand. I have my small dictionary. I still have it. There's a pocket.
Yeah.
And then them up. And then all of a sudden, those words, they repeat themselves, and then you start understanding. But never start with this Frankfurter Allgemein, no matter how interesting.
Exactly. Yeah, so let me just explain for my students, because in Germany there's newspapers that are very sophisticated, like Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung, right? And there's newspapers that are very simple, like they have some news that we can even say is questionable if it's even true sometimes, right? And it's written it's written in very simple German, right? So that makes it much easier to understand and to study with that. Yeah. But can you tell us more about German? How did you learn German other than the Bildzeitung? What else did you do to learn? Because that's really a very difficult language.
Pretty much like after the Bildzeitung, because I've never been to a German school per se to learn German. I've never been there.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I've never been there. So that's what I said. I said if I finished my medical school.
So wait. Just so my students can hear this. You moved from Senegal to Germany without speaking a single word of German. You learn German by yourself with a Bildzeitung and without any schools, and now you're getting a medical degree in a German university.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That is awesome. I mean, if that's not an inspiring story, I don't know what is.
Pretty much. The thing is, if I finish medical school, I'll go to Bildzeitung and say, let me make an advertisement for you. And I learned German through Bildzeitung.
That is amazing. Yeah? So you just read it every day, and then you picked out the words that you don't know.
Well,
how did you?
My wife was German, okay, she's German, and we started early on just speaking English to each other.
Right.
And all of a sudden, she started speaking German to me after this Bildzeitung started sitting. So she started speaking German, and still up till now, I always speak English to my wife, and she speaks German till now.
Okay.
It's not changed. But after this Bildzeitung started kicking up, that I can understand, and for her to force me to understand, she stopped. Most of the time, she speaks only German.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, so from there, it's just like that. I mean, German is a difficult thing. Definitely, if you tell me to write German now, I'll be writing Bildzeitung German.
Right. The thing about difficult languages is like you can even just study a couple of months and you can communicate, right? But if you want to speak German or Japanese perfectly, then it's really going to take a longer time than English, because it's just more complex.
The German, if you're coming from English-speaking country, English-speaking country, I think that's one of the easiest languages to learn, English.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, I agree.
You don't worry about articles and all those sort of things. If you just concentrate and you're really motivated, you can speak English. I don't know. You understand?
How long would you, if you were to tell somebody who doesn't speak any English, what would you tell them is a reasonable amount of time to be conversational in English, if they really focus every day?
And they have the material to go around with.
Yes.
If you have the material to go around with, they're reasonably intelligent and they focus on motivated.
Yes.
Man, 3 months would be good for you to be able.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I say. Exactly. The thing is, in Brazil, they put people in English schools for 5 years and they charge them every month 700 reais. So they pay like up to 700 depending on the school. So they pay up to, in euro, that would be 15,000 euro to learn English, and it takes 5 years. Can you imagine?
Crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah.
to cope with that, they're crazy.
Yeah.
Because if you want to learn English and you're ready to put 15,000 in money into that, why don't you take that 15,000, go to an English-speaking country, and then just interact with people? In less than a year, you'll be far more advanced than sitting there 5 years learning that. It's crazy.
Yeah. It is crazy. But they don't know that it's possible. Like, people actually, when I tell them that I learned Indonesian in 4 months, that I learned Portuguese in 8 months, they are shocked. For them, it's like it's a new it's like I'm telling them that I can fly or that I can be invisible or. Huh?
When you were learning Indonesian, I was there.
Yes, you were there. You saw me study there.
Your book, they should ask me. I was there, man.
Yeah, you saw it. You're proof.
So did it. So they should ask me. It's no scam. It's true.
Yes.
I was there.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, they've seen it though. Like, I've posted some videos on YouTube and on my blog where they can see me. I went to Hong Kong. And when I checked into my hotel in Hong Kong, the receptionist was from Indonesia. So immediately I got my camera out. I said, "Do you mind if I film us for 2 minutes?" And I just had a conversation with her in her own language, in Indonesian. And I published that on my blog. So at least people know that I speak Indonesian. Yeah, but you saw me do it. You saw me study. It's not... It's not
Like
really hard if you dedicate it a couple of months.
you were motivated.
Yes.
You're going to a pianist there, and you need to talk to your students. So
Exactly.
anyway,
Exactly.
anyway, I was there, man.
Awesome, awesome, man. Awesome. And any other tips for what you did for German? What you did to learn German?
Man,
Did you read any books at all for German, or did you make lists of?
Later. I told you I'm a very slow reader.
Oh.
And if I had to read a book in German, it would have taken me. I read a lot in English, but these are pretty much like not really challenging things like novels and stuff. When they're challenging, they take a lot of time. And if I have to do any reading in German, then it would have a lot of time. But pretty much the reading I was doing was with the Bildzeitung, and it was okay. The Bildzeitung has those crazy things, you know. It doesn't have to be true, but the way they present it with those short things, before you get fed up of reading, you've got some words in there, and it's okay.
Right.
And then I started the crosswords. The crosswords is like any, you know, the crosswords.
Yes.
The big site has this crossword, I think two of them, and pretty much is like you just stay near somebody when you have the likes doing them, and you watch. If you watch them after 1 week of somebody doing all those crosswords, you can start with yourself now. Okay, you will not be able to complete it, but pretty much of what's there, a lot is repetition.
Yeah.
So somehow you get the feeling, oh, I'm advancing because I can do crossword. You understand?
That's awesome.
Just like pulling yourself to believing that you do something. But well, hey man, I mean, my German is still far from perfect, but hey, I'm holding my own, and thank God it's going well. And yeah, it's not perfect anyhow. But
well, you're getting a doctor's degree in a German university in German, so that is something. You're just really modest. You're just really modest.
It's not easy, but that's it. If you focus, yeah, when you focus with reasonable intelligence and you have the material, then it's English 6 months maximum. If you really focus, you really want that thing, you have the material, and you're ready to sit down and do it, 6 months you'll be able to talk. Yeah,
for sure.
Well, you don't need 5. You don't need 5. That's a scam.
Yep. Anyway, man, that was great. Like, I don't really have more questions about languages. Thank you very much for participating. Dude, my students are gonna love this. They will love this, really. I'm telling you, they have never heard of anything like this before. For them, it's like you're telling them that they are so rich and they didn't know it, like their aunt died and left them $5 million that they didn't know about.
And why do they keep up with that, man?
I think they just don't have any alternatives until now, right? Like, really, there wasn't a lot of alternatives because it was just that old method from 1850, you know? You take a book and you just memorize it and repeat it, and you know, it doesn't really get you fluent. It's just theory. It's just theory.
It's crazy. Language is interaction. You cannot, if you want to learn a language, I mean, like really learn a language, I'm not talking of learning Latin. If you want to learn Latin, that's a different business. But if you want to learn a living language, you interact. You try to talk, you try to, you know, because in learning the language, you learn the culture and you interact with people.
Yes.
That's the easiest way to learn it. But if you say you want to just sit home and just be memorizing, man, there's a whole lot of memorization you got to do.
Exactly. And you're still just in theory, you know, you still don't have application yet.
That's it now.
Every person I talk to that got good at a language fast or that got good at many different languages, they all say that they developed a curiosity for the people and for the culture, right?
The language.
Because,
you got to have experience,
yeah, that's what the language is about, right? Then it's not just the dry...
My son, if he's talking to people in German, he speaks differently when he's talking to somebody in Wolof. It's another, because the Wolof culture have this respect for elderly and people who are older than you. So you have to tone your voice and everything. Yeah. So you really see the difference in when he's talking.
Yes.
Like you have, when they come here, they start talking to him in German. And then he's like talking to you like he's talking to his friends. But no, you change it now to Wolof, you see him really thinking, what's the right word? What's the right phrase? How am I going? So, and languages are with cultures, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Okay. I'll be sending you messages and then just call me when you're free, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Nice talking to you. I gotta go pick up my son now from the kindergarten.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
And man, get in touch and say hi to your dad.
We'll do that.
Wish him for me when you talk to him.
We'll
yeah?
do that. Okay, man. Thanks again for the interview. We'll be in touch.
Man, take care. Bye.
All right.